Hello everyone, my name is Daniel, and I am just a casual sim racer. And today I'm going to be showing you all how to install F1 Challenge VB. This recently just got updated to version 19, and today I'm going to show you how to install it, and it's got great new features such as online multiplayer that they just included in the latest version, as well as many compatibility fixes. And so, I've already downloaded all the necessary parts of this game that you'll need to install. I'm going to show you how to do that, but first I'm going to walk you through how you would get those downloaded folders. So first, you're going to want to go to the website, the F1 Challenge VB website, which I'm going to include in the description of this video. So click on that and head to this page. You're going to want to click on Game right here, and you're going to go down to F1 Challenge VB AS19/F.1. And I use the A drive. You're going to click on that. And so you're going to copy each of these like this. Hit copy. And then I open a new tab and I hit paste and go to. And that will automatically, when you click that, I'm just going to do paste for example. Once you hit enter, that is going to automatically begin the appropriate download. And you're going to do that for all 30. I then it goes into your downloads folder, as you can see here. Then I copied that into a separate folder, F1C download, here. And so it's got all 30 different downloads right now. So now I'm going to need to pull up 7-zip. If you don't have 7-zip, then you need to download it, because we need to extract these files. So I'm going to want to pull up 7-zip, and we are going to want to extract the files. And so we are going to look to extract these files to this same folder. So you're just going to leave it the same, and you're going to hit OK. And then it's going to begin the extraction process.
6 hours later.
Once your files have finished extracting, you're going to see the Formula 1 folder here, where my cursor is pointing. Initially, I had this to extract to the same folder in which I had the compressed files. However, I moved that off camera to the primary folder position within my local disk drive F. You could have this the same way within any of your other local disk drives, but it needs to be a primary folder. So for example, I'm going to type out Formula 1 just to give you a visualization of what it would look like. So it could be just like one of your other folders within local disk C, which is one of the most common disk letters that most computers are going to use as default. However, I have multiple drives and I chose to use disk F because my disk F is very empty. So I can choose to now delete that Formula 1 folder since it was empty, just a placeholder. So back to here. So you can choose to extract the compressed files that contain F1 Challenge VB wherever you would like. However, for the game to run properly, they need to be a primary folder in local disk F. So I extracted to inside of F1C download where I had my compressed files, and then after it was finished downloading, I just chose to move it simply here. I just did a cut and paste. So if you click under it, you're going to see everything necessary to run the game within this folder. But we need to install the password. So you're going to click on Password F1 Challenge VB. You're going to right click it and you're going to run as administrator. This needs to be done, otherwise it will not install properly. Run as administrator, hit yes. Password installer will let you know that this has been properly installed, and therefore you should now be able to boot the game. I'm going to choose to run F1 Challenge VB as an administrator. So I'm going to go under Properties. I'm going to go under Compatibility. And I'm going to select the box that says Run this program as an administrator. I am going to click Apply, OK, and that should close it out. Once it has booted, I've already chosen, there's going to be music initially. You can choose to turn that off. I cut that so that it wouldn't blast us with the loudness. It's rather loud depending on your volume settings. Now that you've opened the game, it is booted. and we can now look at the various mods that are all available. Every single year of Formula One, since its inception of the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship in 1950. Prior to 1950, there were a few years of where it was just a Constructors' Championship, and those years are not included, nor are any pre-war Grand Prix years included. However, there are the entirety of 1950 to 2019. Every single year, every single track, including additional tracks, and it's just a fantastic mod. And there's also the option to run cars that are not typically, that did not race, but rather were just testing versions and versions that never made it into qualified and made it into an actual race. And you can give those a spin and see how you like it under many of these seasons. One of the things that we need to do now that we have loaded this game is we need to configure the screen. So I'm going to be using the 16:9 since I have a more traditional modern monitor. So I'm going to hit 2 and I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to go under Configure. Lets us know that that worked all right. I'm going to go under Configure and I'm going to click that. Graphic accelerator, slow, regular, fast. You're going to want to do fast. Windowed on or off. I chose to do off. Now it's going to configure your CPU. This is for the graphics card. I have a Radeon RX 580, which is plenty of juice for this. Advanced, use vertical sync. I have that off. Run benchmark, yes. Then you're going to hit next. Now this is make sure you're careful, don't skip. You're going to need to select your resolution. I have a 75 Hertz monitor that's just 1920 by 1080, just a traditional HD. However, it's a little bit quicker or a little faster refresh rate than the standard 60 with a 75 Hertz. So I'm going to select that. It has always worked well in the past. So I'm now going to hit next and analyze. This is going to analyze the settings for compatibility. It is finished. You are going to hit finish. Now that we have finished the configuration of the graphics card, I'm going to go over the rest of the menu. So at the top you can see that there are multiple menu musics that you can choose, and you can choose to stop them. And you can choose to stop the game music, which is very useful. You can change the languages. I am an English speaker and I read English primarily. Therefore, the default is good for me. You can then choose to click on any of the years and that will launch the mods. Sometimes, especially the first time you launch them, it can take quite a while. We will get to that later. There is an intro video you can watch. You can create a new driver, which we are going to have to do before we load the game. And so we need to create a new driver. So I'm going to insert my driver name, which is Daniel. I will hit OK, and this is going to insert that driver into every single year of the mod. That is complete. The career driver, you can then look at the stats under this tab. So I'm going to type in my name. OK. Career of Daniel. Not very exciting. I haven't done anything yet. And now I return to the main screen by clicking the Challenge VB tab at the bottom. You can delete a driver. Opponent numbers, you can select those and change those. I'm not going to mess with that. Under the Car Viewer tab, we can choose various cars. I'm not going to choose that for now because the music under there is quite loud on this video. There are instructions for the game, which you can click through, download, and scroll through. Just the default instructions. I did not find these very helpful. However, you may. Select Showroom, select HUD display. You can restore the game to default. There are advanced options, which I will get to in a second, and you can delete replays as well as exit the menu. At the top, you can change the color of this main menu. One of the key ones under advanced options is that you can set and calibrate your wheel or controller for all the years, so you don't have to do that all the time, which I think is very useful. There are several others. However, I will refrain from clicking on it as the music is quite loud under there, then it will blast this video. So now let us turn to one of my favorite years. I like the really early years, so let's turn to 1951. It's going to give us multiple options here. I'm okay with the default. And the game is going to load. A lot of times the initial loading can take quite a while. And that's alright. Just let it sit and let it load.
A few moments later.
So we've booted up into the 1951 F1 Challenge VB